One question I would have is the pre-wrath people talk about the fifth seal judgment, you know, the persecution. How do you handle that in relationship to Christ persecuting his own?
The breaking of the seals is God sovereignly allowing his judgment to go forward. And he has warned that the purification process will involve, martyrdom and tribulation, just as he allows the mark of the beast and the consequences that will come from that. So, in the process of God's judgment, the consequences of purification fall upon the believers.
So kind of like that Revelation 17 passage about God's purpose.
Throughout the book of Revelation, you'll see all of these judgments are designed in part to bring people to Christ. And you'll see this repeated phrase, and they would not believe, or they would not give God glory, they would not give God glory. And so God allowing this, you have two great masses of martyrdom. The fifth seal, which is the people from the first half, and then in chapter 7 you have the great multitude of martyrs who are those from the second half of the tribulation. Yes?
Great job, by the way. I was just curious, again, it kind of fits in with last night a little bit. I see your A equals B and C and D, except that if you use Luke, 21, 20 to 24, in 22 it says the days of vengeance, which I think is a reference to Hosea 9. But in 24, when it says they shall fall by the sword, this is when they're escaping, by the way, and shall be led away captive unto all nations, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down by Gentiles until the times the Gentiles be fulfilled. During the tribulation, once the abomination of desolation, do the Jews not flee to Petra? Is this not rather a reference to the diaspora where they are captive to all nations, rather than just fleeing to the wilderness that's been prepared for them in Revelation?
I think the persecution that breaks out is upon all Christians and Jewish Christians in the Jerusalem area in particular. And so whether they go to Petra or not, I mean, Petra is a great location. It's not mentioned specifically, but that's been the exit route for people fleeing Jerusalem from the very beginning.
But I meant, isn't this more of a reference to Jerusalem in AD 70 than to the diaspora to all nations versus...
Right. I believe, I say Luke focuses in more on the first destruction than the far destruction that Matthew and Mark look at. But Luke's near destruction is still a type of the far destruction, which is the abomination of desolation, as Matthew and Mark focus on. And I believe that even in the days of the abomination of desolation, the persecution on Gentiles will also take place, but the Gentiles will not be protected in the Petra colony or wherever that place in the wilderness they flee to. That is a special group of Jews and special group of believing Jews that will be protected there. So Luke I do see as the near view, but typological to the far view.
Over here. How do you understand Revelation 10:11, where he says, prophesy again about many peoples, nations, etc.? Don't they use that as an indicator that you got to go back and kind of shuffle a little bit?
No, in fact, I take the little scroll to actually be chapters 11, 12, and 13 and 14. No, he says, prophesy about peoples, prophesy about kings, prophesy about nations. Well, much of what you have in 11, 12, 13, 14, even 15 is about peoples, kings, nations, and those kinds of things. So it's only my suggestion, for the text does not clearly say it. Now, when I talk about the fact that you don't have to shuffle the deck, you can take a chapter like chapter 12. I mean, chapter 12 reaches all the way back to the book of Genesis. Then it brings you to the days of Jesus, where Herod where Satan tries to destroy Jesus under Herod. But the main focus of the chapter, it'll give you, I call them synopses. It'll go back and grab some history in order to bring the person up to what is the pertinent future event. And the main event of Revelation chapter 12 is the persecution of the woman and the cosmic conflict between Satan and his angels.
But in 10:11, it's when it says prophesy again, it's not saying like go back through this time, like
well,
going back to
what do you
9,
mean by
10.
prophet? What do you understand as prophesy again? In other words, it can
I guess
mean.
I've always understood it that it's like, okay, we've covered some material, since the sixth seal. Now prophesy again, and that puts the two witnesses, I guess, back towards the first half. I mean,
Well, the most difficult, and I actually have a presentation here, but on the two witnesses, the most difficult dating or chronological placement of the book of Revelation is the two witnesses. And the difficulty is because their death and resurrection doesn't fit in with the events that we think about at the end of the second coming of Christ.
right.
But the difficulty is the two witnesses are bracketed by the woes, the reference to the 3.5 years. Every other reference to 3.5 years always refers, whether it's Daniel or the Revelation, refers to the second half. And chronologically, if I had more time, the detail of it all just keeps flowing in the second half. So I, over the years ago, went back and forth on the two witnesses, but I've settled with them in the second half.
Okay.
Yeah, last year Dr. Whitcomb solved that.
Yes, and I wanted to find out how he solved it so I might not have to.
Right. I think it's on our, no, I guess it's not on our website, is it? It is, yeah. His paper's on our website. Yeah.
So I understand there's good people who hold the two witnesses to the first half, but the stronger arguments, all the ones that fit the two witnesses in the first half, it's like, how does this fit in with the abomination of desolation? How does this fit in their resurrection? But the stronger textual arguments, when you look at the entire structure, the woes, the time frame, the defensive powers that they have to defend themselves fit better to me in the last 3.5 years.